All right, so that we don't lose that. So parenting is a challenging journey, not just a journey. Oh, it's a journey. We all know that. They said that before. I heard that last week. I was in Alaska. She said the same thing. It is not just a journey, but parenting is a challenging journey. So as parents, we might find ourselves yelling time to time. For some people, it is sometimes. For some people, it is time to time. For some people, it's just, once in a blue moon, we find ourselves yelling. Except we do the needful, we might not be able to stop yelling. Except we do what is required of us. There are things that is required, and this is not just inbuilt. It is not automatic. We have to be conscious. We have to learn. We have to be in that space to be aware that, am I actually a yeller? I don't want to jump, because we're going to be doing a lot of that tomorrow, because you might not even be a yeller, but you think you are a yeller. Or you think, I'm not a yeller, I'm just here, and you are a big one. So we're going to be running a test tomorrow, but tonight, we just want to understand, to introduce what is even yelling, what are the effects of yelling, so that we understand the foundation of this, what is a 3 days journey going to be all about. So the truth is, it can be hard or challenging to keep your cool. I'm not lying, it's just the truth. If I tell you, why are you not keeping your cool? Why are you not keeping your cool? It's very easy. It's a big lie. It can really be hard. It can be challenging for you as a parent to keep your cool, most especially when your child is pushing the buttons, or when your children are pushing the button. It can be so hard. It can be. So when the button is being pushed, it is certainly going to trigger. That will cause a trigger. Some people are like, okay, what is this button and everything? Just listen, relax. You're going to be getting the point as we go. Oh, some people waiting. Okay, I will try to not leave them outside, because once I go in depth, I might not remember to bring people in. All right, okay. So once they... Oh, okay. Apologies, just hold on. Okay. Okay. So when the button is being pushed, you will be triggered. You'll be triggered. So you end up yelling if you don't know what to do. You end up yelling. But the common question about yelling that many parents and caregivers do ask is, how can I stop yelling? This is a question that I've heard, I've been asked many times. How can I stop yelling? Is it even possible to stop yelling as a parent? I've received these questions many times. Can I do without yelling as a parent? Is that even real? Is it realistic? Do we have any parent that doesn't yell? You might get your answer if you pay attention to details on this 3 days journey. But only few we actually ask, why am I yelling? Can I stop yelling? Is it possible to stop yelling? But only few we get to the point of asking, why am I yelling? It is always important for you as a parent to understand the why. If you're familiar with my teaching, you will know that I cannot underestimate, I cannot overemphasize the word why. It is very important for you to know the why. The why is the bottom line. The why is the bottom line. Before you proceed to how, know the why. Take that, keep that with you. Before you proceed to the how, know the why. What is the fun fact? I want you to know this fun fact so that you don't beat yourself down today. Know that yelling is human. Am I telling you that yelling is good or bad? We find out in a short while. But know that yelling is human. That you yell, it shows that you are a human being. That you sometimes snap at your children shows that you are a human being. So there is nothing to beat yourself up for. The brain is literally flipping out. When you yell, your brain is flipping out so that the coordinating part do not control the lower part. And that is just human. The brain is just responding. It's responding to a trigger. You can also control how, you cannot control how your child behaves. You cannot. You cannot control how your child is going to behave. Maybe they are going to disobey you. They're going to misbehave. You cannot control that. So why are we here? Why are we teaching our children? Listen very carefully. Your job is to teach. Your job, yes, is to teach. But can you do the controlling? No, that's not your job. If you try, you will fail. You cannot control how your children will behave, but you can control how you choose to react to things. You can control how you choose to react to your children's behavior. The question is, are you aware of how you should react? That's the question, my question to you tonight. Oh, I can't control my children. They have come again. And some people are here. They are still not going to learn anything because they come with a particular idea and they are not ready to unlearn. And you keep on coming to classes and you're not going to learn anything because, you know, all these Gen Z coaches, they teach us what they don't know. They teach us what they don't do in their houses. Hello. When you come with that mindset, let me advise you, you might not get anything out of these 3 days. Our time is precious. My time also is precious. So I want to help you, to help yourself to unlearn tonight and to be open-minded to learn. My question again, I'm going to ask that question again. Are you aware? Do you know how you should react? So yelling is one of the big issues that parents struggle with. Many parents struggle. They struggle with yelling. It's one of the big issues. But, you know, it's underestimated. It's over, like, people don't count it. It's like it's a normal thing. Yelling is one of the things that I can call a normalized nonsense. Because it's, you know, what is the big deal? I'm the parent. I'm the dad. I can shout. If you tell parent that, you know, come to no yelling class, how do you mean? Are you the mother? Is it your child? I should not yell. These are normalized nonsense. And that is why I said it at the beginning of this class, that I congratulate you. You know, when I see parents who are willing to come for classes, I don't need to ask you. It takes intentionality for you to take your time and say, oh, I want to go. I want to listen. It shows you are a good parent. I don't know what you're going through in your parenting journey at this point of life. At this particular time in your parenting journey. I don't know what are the challenges, but I want to encourage you. You are a super mom. We don't have that this year, so I don't need to give it to them. You are a super mom. Everything is going to be okay. Am I saying it's going to be easy? No, but you can do it. You are made for that, made for more. All right, I don't want to go out of line because of time. You can do it. You can do it. But I want you to know that you cannot actually stop yelling until you learn how to connect with your child. We had the parent-child connection course. We have done the level 1. The level 2 is coming. I'm not here to tell you come to level 1. I'm not that kind of coach. I don't have time. But those who have gone through level 1, we understand what I'm saying better when we're talking about connection. But when you are really a yeller, when we confirm after the test that you are a yeller, you cannot stop yelling until you learn how to connect with your child. Without connection, without connecting with your child or your children, you cannot guide them. We say only the vision guide. We are not just ranting. We are not just shouting. You cannot guide them until connection is happening. You cannot also have a positive influence on your child until you connect. You cannot have your child's cooperation until you connect. See, I'm talking about yelling. Don't think I'm out of point. These are all the things that is going to help you if you are a yeller. You need cooperation. You need correction. You need positive influence. Yeah. Please, let's mute ourselves. So what do I do? Maybe that is what is in your head right now. What do I do? The first thing that I want you to do as a parent that is present here tonight is For you to know, let's assume everybody here is a healer tonight. Let's just assume we are all healers. The first thing to do to yourself to help yourself is to move to what is called self-compassion. Okay, I am a healer. I feel bad. Anytime I yell, I feel bad. What can I do? I am not thinking about what to do to help my child at this point. You are going to think about yourself now and move to what is called self-compassion. Say to yourself, it is not my fault. Yes, it is not my fault. My brain did it because I need to move to an understanding. My brain did that. It is not my fault. Just give yourself self-compassion. Your brain just did a flip. My brain did a flip. It is not my fault. Start on that note. It's going to help you a lot because I've seen parents have asked questions many times. I've seen parents that they really beat themselves down, no matter how you want to go. Even if I want to do filial therapy for them, it's going to take me much more than a year because by default, they just feel they are bad. They feel it's just my fault. No, it's not your fault. It is not your fault. Until you have the ability and the strength to move to the space of self-compassion, you might not be able to get the result that you desire. Yelling is not your fault, but listen to this. Yelling is yelling is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. You are responsible for yelling. Not to yell, it's your responsibility. You can choose to yell, you can choose not to yell. It is nothing about your child. It is up to you to do it or not to do it. Please don't get it twisted. I want you to listen attentively. It is not your fault. Your brain did it, but it is your responsibility. But the truth is, you still have to be kind to yourself. Yelling is a natural response that perceives threat. When you perceive a threat, when something happens, when a button is pushed, when the child or your children cause a trigger in your system, that is a threat, and you might yell. And that is why you have to move to self-compassion. You might yell. Yelling is your fault. It's not your fault. It is a fight and flight response. When we talk about something like reflex, I am not a clinical psychology, I'm a counseling psychology. So we might not be able to go in depth into the clinical psychology part, but I will try my best. It's a fight and flight response. It's a mode. That is also called the acute stress response. It is a psychological reaction that occurs in response to a perceived harmful event. Coach, what are you talking about now? Are you saying that my children are harming me? You better listen. This is about psychology. It can be like a kind of attack, a threat to survival. And this was first described by Walter Cannon in 1915. This response prepared the body either to confront or to flee from threats. What I'm explaining is it that you choose to or not to choose to? Is it that you respond or you flee to the threat that you perceive, the attack, the threat? Let's do a quick practical. If you have your child with you, can you allow your child, if that child can follow instruction, tell your child to poke mommy's eyes? Or if you don't have your child with you, can you just use your hand and try to poke yourself? See, that's why I'm saying I need camera. Everybody's camera is off. I said it before, this is not just a class. It's going to be an interactive class, and we are taking this therapeutically. Please, if you can put your camera, I'm going to appreciate it. We don't want to waste our 3 days journey. No. Because we keep doing the same thing the same way. We are parents, we are busy, I understand. But please, tomorrow, get your time together because we are going to be running some tests. It's not what you can do by driving or you're cooking. Please prepare yourself and get yourself ready. This is just an introduction. We are going to be going deeper. You're going to get results when you follow through instruction. You will get result when you follow through. I know we are busy as parents. Even for me to sit down right now, trust me, it's determination. So let's be determined to be the amazing parent that we want to be. All right, straight to what I'm saying. Can you poke yourself right now? I can see Blessing. I see the name. Thank you for joining, Madam Blessing. I can see Madam Oluka. Okay, did you allow her? She tried to poke you. Mrs. Quaker, can you just try to poke yourself? Can I see you? Okay, now go fast. Did you close your eyes? That is a response. So when we talk about the fight and flight response, sometimes it's not what you can control until you are intentional. But do you know that if you are really intentional for somebody to poke your eyes, see me, this is my eyes, can you see me clearly, everybody? If I want to poke my eyes like this, but do you know that if I'm determined that I'm going to poke my eye, do you know I can do it? Look, it's just a response. I can actually touch the eyes without blinking because I've already passed a message to my brain. So when we talk about yelling, it's the same. You choose to, oh, my child, I'm not coming for you now. Just relax. I don't want to jump on you so that, oh, I'm not coming tomorrow. Today she was just cussing us. I love you. I love you. And we cannot keep deceiving ourselves. If I want to poke myself, I'll poke. But on a natural, on a reflex level, my eyes will not allow that. But if I pass a message to my brain, relax, I'm going to poke you. My brain will relax and I'm going to poke the eyes without any problem. That is what I think that is clear enough. That is going to make everybody understand what I am saying. Somebody's waiting and I'm trying. Okay. All right. So that is going to help us to understand what I'm saying. Let me put my Blu-ray glasses. Okay. So that is it. So it's your choice. It's your decision. You can actually do it. I don't know what you're going through, but I just want you to close your eyes for 2 seconds. Please mute yourself and say, I can do it. Whatever it is, whatever challenges, whatever is going on in my parenting journey now, I can do it. I can do it. I can actually do it. I am made for more. I can do it. So when you feel like yelling, know that it is your brain taking care of you. Do you know that if my brain is not always taking care of my eyes, I just say to the brain, every time you see a finger coming, just open and poke, my eyes will go blind. That means I have made my brain to be handicapped, not to be in charge of the situation. Not because I cannot pass the message, but it's my decision. So anytime you feel you see yourself yelling, don't beat yourself down because your brain is doing what it's supposed to do, taking care of you. The stress, the stress that it, whatever your body has felt, that the message has gone to the brain. So it is totally normal. When you feel like yelling, you are flooded with chemicals. You are flooded with chemicals. I'm going too slow and I said I want to go fast. I need to run. So the chemicals are ways that our nerves talk to others. The nerves in our body get to respond to others. When something pokes you, you feel it, you feel the pain, you feel from every part of your body. Those are chemical reactions. So I want to now, let me jump. Yelling, as much as I'm telling you that it's not your fault, I don't want you to now say, okay, I don't need to come tomorrow. It's not my fault. I'll keep yelling. Coach has said it. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Yelling is never discipline. Can you say that to yourself? Yelling is not you discipline a child. Yelling is as bad. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. It's as bad as physical abuse. I know now at this point, we have intentional parent, positive parent that already know that, you know, I can yell. I can yell. I'm not beaten. As long as I don't beat my child, I can yell. But it's as bad as physical abuse. When you yell and you beat your child, it's the same. Coach, relax. We get there. It is the same. So where do we draw the line? Now I cannot beat. Now they are telling me I cannot shout. I cannot yell. Where do we draw the line? And that is why we are here. Yelling at your child is you pouring out your frustration on that child. Somebody say, they've come again. You are frustrated, but you will not want to admit. See, we need people that are going to be sincere and genuine. That is the only way you can get results. But it is the child that frustrates me. I'm not saying who frustrated you, but you are frustrated. That's why you yell. I'm not talking about who caused the frustration, but when you yell, when you pour out, it's pouring out frustration on your child, and it actually does not teach the child to be better behaved. But anytime I yell, the coach don't know what happened. They keep quiet. I'm coming for you. When you pour out, when you yell at your child, it doesn't teach that child to be better behaved. Instead, you are modeling to your children that they have to lack self-control. They have to know anger. They can moderate anger. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to have lack of self-control. That is what you're doing when you are yelling at your child. You are modeling something different entirely. Okay, let's assume that two of your children are arguing. You have two children arguing, and this has gone for maybe 10 minutes, they're about 15 minutes, they are arguing, you are seated there, you are trying to tell them to be quiet, they are just saying, no, it's you are the one, they are shouting, they are arguing. And when you get enough of that argument, what do you do then? As a yeller, what do you do then? You yell. If you both don't keep quiet now, you will be in my trouble. How many yellers now? Be counting, two children yelling. You are tired of their yelling because you lack skill. You don't know what to do. You actually try to control yourself. Maybe you've gone to some classes, they taught you deep breath, but yet they are not in control. Then you just say, if you two don't listen to me now, you're going to be in my trouble. We have 3 yellers. That's not where I'm going to. The interesting thing about yelling is that just like you eating a child, just like a physical rod, it will make them to keep quiet and conform for a while. They will obey you. Keep quiet now. For those who are not out of behavior, they are going to actually keep quiet. It will make them to keep quiet. And yes, at this point, it's giving you the moment of relief. That gives you the moment of you're in charge as a parent. It gives you the feeling of yelling is working. It worked. It actually worked. I'm a super mom. I shouted, they listened one time. Okay, continue. But unfortunately, what we never understand is that yelling has no long-term positive effect on our children's behavior. It's a quick fix. Visioners, we understand what I mean. Yelling is a quick fix. You are tired, you shout, they keep quiet. You're happy. But it's not teaching the skill, and it's not a long-term positive effect on behavior. Don't forget tonight is introduction. So maybe I'm not saying what you want to hear. You just want to know how you're going to keep your cool. It doesn't work like that. Relax. That is why you put 3 days. Relax. You can see, I have my OT here. You can just help yourself and relax. Everybody is just doing helicopter parenting. Google. My child is getting me upset. What can I do? This is not what we are doing here. We go back to the root. We understand the why. Until you understand the why, you cannot get any result. Okay. Oh yeah, move. They shout, you shout, it's a cycle. A cycle is going to continue. The children disagree and argue. You will yell. They will keep quiet. After a while, what happened? They continue to argue. You will yell again, and they will still keep quiet. It's going to be a continuous cycle. And sometimes it will get you upset. And when you get to the point of getting upset, you carry out all the empty threats that you have had, because you're not going to feel like a failure. If you don't listen, I'm going to slap you. Because you have said that. And because it's a cycle, you will start to be who you are not supposed to be. I am going to lock you up if you don't listen. Because you hear they kept quiet. But after a while they're doing it, you will be forced to carry out those threats. That is what has been happening. So I hope somebody is getting what I'm trying to lay the foundation. So this, unfortunately, only teaches the child that it is okay to argue. It teaches the child that, we can be in a tug of war. Mommy, yes, mommy, no, mommy, no. It doesn't work like that. See, I always say to parents when I'm doing the filial therapy that when you know that you are actually a yeller, and even for everybody, don't have the habits of talking to your children afar. For example, if you are in your kitchen, your child is in the room, you are not upset. You are not seeing the child. Please don't pass across message. Take a step and go to the child. Joy, joy, joy. You're not upset. I'm not talking about upsetting level. You actually want joy to come. You want victory to come. You want Nate to come. You want Paul to come. You want James to come. I understand that. But it's not going to help you to be able to get to the level of being in charge of your brain. If calling aloud is a normal procedure in your house, and the child also have high tendencies of not going through the instruction because you're already dealing with a child that until you yell, they don't listen. Don't talk over through their head. Give eye contact. Get to the child. Don't call ahead. That's just a bonus. I was not planning to say that. Don't call ahead. But I say to people, but I'm not upset now. We are not arguing. I just called the child. Even when you are not upset, even when you think it's a positive yelling, don't do it. Don't do it. Because this is going to cause a lot of problem to your child. It doesn't teach them problem-solving skills. We are supposed to be teaching them skills, but we are modeling very wrong behavior to our children. So at that moment, you think it worked. Yes, it worked, but it's only for a while. The question is, am I addicted to yelling? I want you to ask yourself at this point. Take a deep breath, take a moment and ask, am I addicted to yelling? I know you might not be sure. You might not have answers to these questions at this moment. You might not be sure, but just ask yourself, am I addicted to yelling? Am I addicted to yelling? Just ask yourself and wait. You're going to find out. Because tomorrow we'll be running a test to determine if you are a yeller. See, congratulations if you are not a yeller and you are here. In fact, I salute you because you are determined not to be who you don't want to be. All your questions will be answered tomorrow about this. Am I a yeller? Is it just one sometimes? Am I supposed to call myself a yeller? Do I need help? We are going to be dealing with all that tomorrow. So it is very important for you to know, can I help myself? Do I need help? When you are planning and working on keeping your cool, it is very important for you to know. If you don't know, you cannot learn to keep your cool. There are quite a lot of ways that you can do activities, procedures, therapeutic way that you can do to keep your cool. And I'm not going to jump to that today. But one of the common one that I'm sure you know is walking away from the child. I'm sure you've heard that many times. I'm sure you have done that many times. The child is pressing your button and you've gotten to the optimum level, to the limit. I know you know that you walk away from the child. That is one of the common things that people do. Another thing you can do is stretching, You can stretch. Just ignore the child. Stretch out like you're working out, stretch your body, crack it. Breathing. Those are common things that we do, right? After you have done all this, a lot of people will do this, but they are not taking time to reconnect to self. If you are trying to work on keeping your own cool, after you have done whatever you think, walking away from the child, stretching, breathing, maybe you're sitting on a bouncing ball, maybe a fidget, whatever it is, a soft toy, your ring, playing with your ring. People don't understand these things. We all have sensory need, and that's not even where I'm going today. I don't want to go here and there. Let's first keep your cool. After you have done all this, a lot of people don't know that there is need to reconnect with self. Until you reconnect with yourself, that is when you can deal with your child, by connecting and helping the situation. You have to understand that it is your responsibility to reconnect with yourself from within before you can connect with your child. Not just, okay, I finished, I'm okay now. You have to reconnect with your brain, with from within. This time of reconnection, it is never a time of you blaming yourself. No, you are not going to blame yourself at this point. Don't forget, we started with self-compassion. So it's not, oh, I've done it again. I just yelled again. I just yelled again. Tomorrow, you're going to be understanding. I think on Saturday, I'm going to be going deeper on this. Don't blame yourself. Just reconnect and connect with your child. Let me just briefly talk about the effect of yelling, so that when we are doing other things, you'll be able to know if I need to put energy on it or not. You are going to know, does it really worth me learning how I can keep my cool if indeed you are a yeller? And if you are not a yeller, does it really worth me learning not to be who I am? I don't want to be, so that I learn not to be a yeller. Let's talk about effects of yelling at your children. So what happened when you yell at your child every time? In the morning, you yell. In the afternoon, you yell. At night, you yell. The following day, you yell. What happens? When we yell at our kids, I am a mother also. Every time, they automatically become parent deaf. I'll try to explain that. Every time when the children are used, can I call it addicted at this point, to yelling from you or the dad or the mom, they become what is called the parent deaf. That means they will turn off their ears. They will turn you out. They will not pay attention to you. So when you need to get their attention, let's assume maybe it's a child on the spectrum. Maybe your child has been diagnosed to have ADHD. I know what hyperactivity is. I know what you might be going through. I understand, because as a special need educator who has worked with so many of this, so I understand. But I want you to know that every child is teachable. If you have been listening to me, I'm sure you have heard this many times. And I know a lot of people will say you don't understand because you don't have one. I don't have one, but I've worked with so many, and we have gotten very great testimonies. Amazing testimonies, because I believe every child is teachable. And you know why? Because I believe in God. If you don't believe in God here, please, could I say apologies? I'm not even apologetic. In these 3 days, you're going to hear me talk about God here and there. I'm not certain, because I know it's not everybody here that believes in God. But just take it as whatever it is and pick whatever you want to hear. I believe in God because I believe in miracles. So I've seen these children transform. I've seen no speech all of a sudden. I've seen those who have been diagnosed and they grew out of it. This is not why I'm here today. I just want to encourage you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you have heard from the doctors. They are amazing. I'm not coming for the doctors today, but because maybe I'm operating on another level, every child is teachable. All right, let me move. That's for somebody. So relax, whatever you're going through. Your child is just fine. That child has been trusted into your hand because, I don't know, maybe you believe God again, knows that you can handle it. So when we talk about parent death, now that you need their attention, they will just turn you out. You have unknowingly trained them that they do not have to listen until you yell, but you don't know that that's what you're doing. Come here, John. Come here, John. Are you not the one I'm talking to? You will now talk until you now get to the peak that your voice is even cracking before they will listen to you. That is the training you have given to that child. You have unknowingly trained them that until you yell, they don't have to listen to you. Until you yell, that is not serious. Until you yell, mommy is just joking. That is what the brain of the child is telling the child. Daddy and mommy doesn't really mean it. They are just joking. It is time to clean up because you are used to yelling. I don't want to go into the class that is not supposed to be part of this. Instead of you telling the child, you're going to be cleaning up in 5 minutes, my darling, and I'm going to let you know. 3 minutes more, we are cleaning up. It's clean up time now. Let's do it together and let's clean up. You just bump on the child. We are going. Let's clean up now. Let's clean up now. It doesn't work like that. But the child will just ignore you. They are still kidding. By the time they shout and they're about to pee on their panties, that's when they mean it. That is the training that you have given to the child's brain. But I get parents that will say, you know, coach, my child is different or very stubborn. Even when I shout, clean up, the child doesn't clean up. Hello, you train that child like that. Am I blaming you now? No, I love you. I'm not blaming you, but I'm telling you the truth. But everything can be fixed, and that is why you are here. They are joking. My mom is just joking. She's just talking. So when you talk normal, like a normal human being, like a mom that you're supposed to be, they don't take you serious because they have not seen you open your eyes and shake your body. No calm voice, no calm body. That's what you have taught them. Can yelling at my kids actually harm them? Can you yelling at your children actually harm them? Yelling is so damaging as physical abuse. Most people understand that spanking is damaging, but they don't. I said that earlier, but they don't understand that yelling is damaging. It's very important for you to consider the frequency and the intensity. I'm going to be explaining that. Does that mean I cannot shout at all? Does that mean me raising my voice a little? What is even yelling? That is what I'm talking about, the frequency and the intensity of your voice. Listen to this. If you are not taking anything home today, listen to what I'm about to say. Yelling should be used only on emergencies. Can I actually yell? Yes, you can, but make sure that it's an emergency. Maybe the child is closer to fire. Maybe something's about to happen. Maybe there is a pit or there is a dish that the child is about to fall into, something that can cause a very permanent disaster. That is when to yell. That is when to shout, because it's an emergency. Because the child, we know my mommy doesn't yell. My daddy doesn't yell. They will stop because they know that that's not usual. Then you tell them for safety. They will know, and they will even argue, thank you, mommy and daddy. They know why you have yelled. It should be only used only on emergencies. No matter how angry you are, no matter how upset, no matter how the child has pushed the button and you think you have tried, you took a deep breath, your calm voice is there, your calm face is there, your calm body. But I still have to yell. Yelling, it's a no. Only on emergencies. Aside from extreme situation, it's a no-go area. Yelling at your children can have a significant and a lasting effect on their developmental brain. Their developmental stage, their brain developing, it can have a very bad, not a good one, effect on them. It can indeed cause harm. It can be an immediate harm. It can be a long-term harm. And I'm going to quickly see if I can rush through that. If I can rush through that. I want to see. So you have to be able, as a parent, you have to be able to understand the potential harm that yelling can cause, and adapting to more positive strategy is going to be easy. When you understand the damage, the harm that yelling at your child can cause, that is the beginning, because you love your child. Because if I should ask you now, do you love your child? You say yes, right? Because you love your child, you don't want them to be to something to happen to them. So you start from that point. That helps you to control your own emotion. That helps you to be able not to get triggered when they push the button, because you know, if you yell, it's going to harm them. So you have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded to this. So what are the practical ways? Some practical ways I will just give quickly. I'm checking the time. Ways in which your yelling can actually affect your children. Let's talk about the immediate effects. I said before, we have the immediate effect on them, and we have the long term. I'll just give brief ones. I'll just give brief effect. People are just joining. Okay, no problems. I'll just give brief effect, and we are going to call it a day by, let me see. I don't want to go fast, more than 9 o'clock. All right. We have the emotional distress. I'm not going to go in details because of time. No, yelling can cause immediate emotional pain to our children. See, I'm seeing things in a different way now in the new set of children I'm working with. And these are, I've seen from a child of 1 or 2, these days they are different. That I talk to a child of 16 months and they are really feeling shy, like I feel embarrassed. We were not like that. The last generation, even those who are 10, 9 years now, they are not like that. So the new generation now that they are the way they operate is different. And I kept telling to myself, where are we going to? 1 year, 2 years now, they're feeling embarrassed when their mom tried to raise their voice. I've seen this in the last few weeks, and I was like, okay, we need to continue to study and to find researches, because these ones, I don't know how this is happening. Things are happening. It was never like that. So emotional distress is there, and it's happening earlier than it was before. And also, when you yell, one of the immediate effects, it's going to make them to feel scared, anxious. So many adults are dealing with anxiety today. Maybe it might be the effect of what they went through as a child. And that's not why we are here. So I'm not going to go in depth to that. It can also make them sad. Those are immediate effects. It can cause damage, to their sense of safety and security. It can cause damage. There are quite a lot of things that yelling at your child can cause as immediate effect. It can also cause them the physical stress response. When you yell at them, it can trigger the physical stress response in your children. And that is going to increase to the stress hormone. And such, I don't want to go into clinical psychology, such as the cortisol, the adrenaline. That's not what we are going to. I've just run. We're not going to go in depth that. So let's look at the long-term effect. The emotional and psychological impact is there as a long-term effect of yelling at our children. I talk about adults that are dealing with anxiety. It increases anxiety. It causes depression. Some people, they don't know since when they have been dealing with depression as an adult. It might be effect of what you went through as a child. Some people just fall into depression easily. Anxiety. It might. I'm not saying it is effect of yelling. So is that what you want your child to go through later in life? So children who are frequently yelled at are at higher risk of developing anxiety disorder. Because you don't know these things or you are not passing through it, you might not understand. But if you see people going through anxiety disorder, you don't want that for your child as an adult. So why yelling? When you know that this yelling, this is what it can cause to your child. And you're going to talk to yourself, I love my child. I don't want my child to grow up and have a disorder, not even anxiety. Another one is the low self-esteem, because mommy, we always shout. Daddy, we always shout. You see some adult today, their self-esteem is not even low. Let's call it zero self-esteem. Even with everything they're wearing, they can dress, they can wear the best of clothes. They still have zero. Let me put it low so that I don't. But sincerely, some are even zero self-esteem, childhood trauma, yelling. Is that what you want your child to go through? Some people will feel worthless, no matter how you encourage them, no matter how the kind of job they get, they feel unloved. Especially some from foster parent, and they're sure they're foster parent, and that foster parent is a yeller. They quickly conclude that, I'm not loved here. So this can cause a very, damaging self-esteem. Please don't do it. Think about it. Behavioral consequences is there. They can get to the point of, I don't care. She will yell. You see some parents just saying my child is stubborn, but when I go for home visit sometimes and I analyze the situation, I'll tell parent, do you want to hear the truth? Your child is not actually stubborn. You are the problem here. You are the stubborn one. You turn yourself to principality and power, and the child is a victim. But you as a parent, at the end of the day, you want to play the victim. It doesn't work with me. Oh, you move. That's not where you're going to. This can also affect their cognitive level, their academical impact. They don't care at all in school. They cannot even comprehend what the teacher is saying because they are constantly yelled out. We are talking about long-term effect. And why are we saying this? So that you know why you have to learn to keep your cool, because I'm sure that you love your child. Yelling can cause impaired learning and memory. They cannot even keep anything in their brain. Not because they are not smart, but because they have been tampered with. Their brain has shifted through yelling. They will even lose interest in learning. This can cause a chronic stress. I know, so many things. Impaired cognitive function. When you're yelling at your little ones and they get to class and they're telling them they are misbehaving, we are teaching them sounds they are not comprehending, you better go and check how you are dealing with them. Because we can handle things differently. Why am I saying all this? Is that why I'm here? Some people are already upset. Is she not supposed to teach us how to keep our cool? Why is she saying all this? If you don't know why you have to keep your cool, you will not keep your cool. If you don't know why you have to do no yelling, you will not be able to do it. That is why we have to know, why am I yelling? Why should I not yell? What is the effect of yelling on my children? Is it harmful to my child? Does it really want me stopping yelling? Your child is academically performing poorly. Check. Can it be a result of yelling? Emotional turmoil. Can it be a result of yelling? Physical health issues. You see some children, they are just throwing up. You check their fighter signs, they're okay. To go home, they don't want to go home. They just want to stay in the clinic. They want to stay in the hospital. They throw up. Their tummy is aching. They check everything, no sign, no negative result. Check, are you a yeller? Because this can be the result of physical health issues. Chronic stress effect is there. And these are long term. These are going to be showing long time in the future. The exposure doesn't happen automatically. You can think because they are small, they don't know anything. I can hear now they are listening. But I'm talking about the effect in the future. We might not even be there to help them. Please think about it now. Is that what you want for your child? Is that what you want? Another thing that is common that yelling of a parent can cause is avoidance and lying. Don't get it twisted. Lying to a child, or when a child is lying, it is a developmental stage, and that is not where I'm going to. So it's quite normal at a certain stage of life, some, not all, children will start to lie. It is not a problem. Your job is to teach them the skill and be open to that. There's the reason why they lie, and they test run these things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the negative effect of the avoidance and lying. Because if they should tell you the truth, you're going to shout. Mommy, I broke the plate. You're going to shout, my plate, my this. Because you have warned them before, don't write on the couch. But because you have a child who is active, forgotten and just trying to scribble, and they accidentally wrote, did you do this? No, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. I didn't do it all. I didn't do it all. Who caused that? Because they know that mommy is going to yell and shout, and they can even receive a spanking or something can happen. So you turn them to a liar. Why do you have to stop yelling? Why? It also damages the parent-child relationship. When you are yelling at some children, they don't even want to connect with you. They don't want to talk to you. Especially when you're talking about preteens and teenagers. If you're yelling at your preteens and your teenagers, and when we talk about preteen today, it starts from age 8. Those are the days, gone are the days that we say 10 preteen. No, the life is different. If you have 8 years, they are already preteen because life is changing. You just see them avoiding you. They don't want to connect with you because they know if I even talk to mommy nicely, she's just going to yell. I've seen a child say to me before, Miss Oya, I just want love. She doesn't have my time. We've seen different cases when we do filial therapy. It damages the connection. It's also going to cause a loss of trust. They don't trust you. They cannot trust you. Even if they trust me, tell me, because at the end of the day, you don't have self-control. So who do we deal with? Don't you think you need to deal with yourself first before you help your child? This is going to just weaken the bond and the communication, open communication between parent and child. There won't be attachment issue. Okay, or that also can cause attachment issue. They can connect to some particular person that they think they are safe with. And sometimes it is not safe for them because that person that is not yelling at them might not be a safe place. You understand what I'm saying? We are all adults here. Things are happening around the world. I don't just call those children growing glory for just growing glory. It's because they are growing glory and our job is to protect them. Our job is to safeguard them. And one of the ways to do that is to ensure, am I doing the right thing? Is yelling at my children okay? I'm talking about anxiety, and some also will grow and become, they have this heightened anxiety. The level as an adult, they cannot even do anything. They can't travel in the bus, they can't do this because they are taking medication daily to control their anxiety level for no reason. Trauma is real. Trauma is real. Impaired emotional development is there. I want to stop. If you have any question, I think you should just keep it. But I don't think there will be question. But if there is, keep it as we go deeper tomorrow. This is just for us to understand what yelling is, why you should know the damage yelling is causing. By the time we're doing other things tomorrow, you will be able to do it with your strength. Behavioral consequences there. Aggression and hostility. You just see some adults for no reason. They're just aggressive. They are hostile. This is a long-time effect of yelling. They might have been yelled at several times as a child. They can be hostile to authority, to their peers. They cannot even explain. They just get cranky. They cannot even, little thing, they get aggressive. That is the defense. When I talk about the fight and flight response, that is what the brain is giving to them. It's not also their fault. They're taking defense because they don't know the person is coming if they're going to yell. You just don't understand some adults. So don't always judge people. People are going through a lot. Just always think for them. I know it might be your colleague. It might be some weird person that you just want to ask a question. So what is it? What is it? They just want to. It's because of what they've gone through. It's an effect of trauma. Some of this also can cause a withdrawn social isolation. They don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to be alone. One of it is I don't have friends. Some of us are coming from very a lot and far a lot. I keep to myself, I don't have friends. It might be the result of trauma. But we see this and we polish these things. My children are my friends. Your children are not your friend. That's not where I'm going to. That's not why we are here today. So tomorrow, we are going to be running a test for us to know who is actually a yeller. So please ensure that you are not driving, you are not somewhere, you're not cooking. Let's pay attention. And please, tomorrow, if possible, please, it's good for us to have camera on, if possible. It's not a must, but it's good. It's good for us to have a camera on. It shows me that we are all connected. Please create time. Cook before. Do everything you want to do before. Just give this time to yourself and your family. Don't multitask on this. When we get to tomorrow and you're multitasking, you might not be able to get results because we're going to be doing a lot of interaction and testing. And you might need to write something to check yourself because I cannot check everybody one by one. When you yell at your kids, the lower IQ, I almost forgot that. Let me quickly say that. Academic achievement. It can be so many things. You just yell. You got C today. You got D today. Last week was C. D today. Mental health impact. Depression. Low self-esteem. Increased risk of mental illness. When we talk about mental health, people, they are not mad now. She's good now. People are dealing with these things and it's real. Anxiety, depression, it is real. Relationship consequence, it is real. These are a result of trauma. So tomorrow, make sure you are here. And I want to believe that you have picked something today. I want to believe that. So as you go, I want you to know that yelling can trigger your child's fight and flight response. I've talked about fight and flight response for us as parents, but you yelling at them also can trigger it. Their fight and flight response will be triggered. It will increase the level of stress hormones. I said that before. Keep it in your hand. Heightened anxiety, these things are real. I cannot overemphasize it. Can I tell you this as we go? That you don't yell because your children upset you. If I don't tell you this truth and you go, I don't love you enough. You are not yelling. You are not raising your voice rather, because your children upset you. Coach has come again. Oh. I spoke to her 10 times, but she didn't listen. And I said, stop that now. I give you a spank. And you pat yourself, super mommy. You're not super in anything, no. You're deceiving yourself. It's a quick fix. Can I tell you why you yell? Are you sure you want to hear this bitter truth? You don't yell because your children upset you. You yell because you can't control your emotions. Yeah. You want to hear that? I know what that child has done is very bad. I understand. I understand what you're thinking. I get it. I get it. Oh, keep it. I get it. Oh, I get it. I hear you. I can hear your mind. I get it. But your yelling is not because of that behavior. Your yelling is because you lack what is called self-control. You can't give what you don't have. You cannot. You can't teach what you don't know. Your children are not the reason you yell. If you have not taken anything home today, please write it down. My children are not the reason I yell. You are the reason, and you are also the solution. Please pick your pen. If you are not writing anything today, write this down. My children are not the reason why I yell. I am the reason, but the good news is I am also the solution. Until you work on your emotions, you will always find yourself struggling with correcting your children's behavior. You will always find yourself struggling with yelling until you work on your emotions. Many times, parents, I said I want to stop. Oh, you stop. You're not the only teacher. Many times parents tell me, is it possible? I talk to my children calmly. Is it possible for me to just say, honey, you said this, you say, honey, come and sit down. You think they will listen? I just laugh and smile. They are not deaf. They are glory. They are not stubborn. You just push them to get to that point of not listening. And some people will just come in, coach, this thing you're teaching is not working. I said, honey, sit down. But she did not sit down until I said, honey, can't you sit down? It is not automatic. You have already patterned the brain. So you have to unwrite, you have to rub, you have to tell the brain that this is a new mom. And that's not why we are here. We can't do that on these 3 days. If you know that you need a person, specialized one, we can't do that here. When you have wired your children to be like that, when you raise them to respond to only yelling, you know what it's called? It's called programming. Programming is not only on computer. A lot of parents have programmed their children's brain. Don't listen until I yell. That's what is happening. They are not the reason why you yell. You are addicted. And I say you might be addicted. Tomorrow you find out. My question now is, are you addicted to yelling as I finish? Am I addicted to yelling? You can see I am a natural person with a strong voice. My voice is loud. Am I a yeller? Does that mean I'm a yeller? Do I yell at my children? Do I yell at my spouse, my colleague, people around me? Tomorrow, you will find out if indeed you are a yeller. Any questions so far, just keep it to yourself because of time. We are going to have ample time on Saturday. I will make sure that Saturday, I'm not going to do a lot of teaching. We are going to do discussion. Everybody's just going to say their view. Let's keep that for Saturday. Let's keep that for Saturday. We are going to have a lot of time. We are going to have a lot of time to discuss. All right, so far, please, just say something. Did you get something today? Tomorrow, don't forget, create time, because we are going to be testing if you are a yeller, if I am a yeller. We are going to be doing that. So I need everybody seated. Have your pen with you. Pay attention. Maximum 1 hour, 30 minutes. For you and your family, is that too much? This is not what you can multitask to do. Trust me, if you want to get the result. You can do it if you want. Why am I even saying please, please? Because I love you. I love you. Your time is precious, but mine also is very precious. For me to sit down tonight, trust me, my family is also waiting for me. We have a lot of things to attend to, but I need to sit down. I cannot cancel on you, no, because I know that I've called. So if I'm calling and you are feeling like she get the time, now. She doesn't call it, it's free. I can choose to be cooking it. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, this is much more than a treasure. All right, please unmute yourself. At least unmute yourself and say something. Please, everybody unmute yourself. Did you get something today so that I can sleep well and come loaded tomorrow? Did you get something today? Does it watch your time?
Hello, Auntie.
Hello, who is with iPhone?
Yeah, Bukola Balogun.
Yeah. Sweetheart, me, how are you doing?
I'm fine, man. Sorry, I'm late, but
you just joined in. I recorded the session.
Yes.
I recorded the session.
Yes, I don't mind having the recorded section, please.
Yes, but tomorrow, please be here. I recorded the session. We might.
I didn't know. Actually. I was thinking to 8 o'clock.
No, I put the time there. UK 6 p.m. Right? Ireland also, right? Sister Annie, am I right? Is Ireland the same time with UK and Nigeria now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Because I tried to check the time because we always have issues of time. So I know all the time is now. You have the summer time now, so everything is together.
My issue with the time is work as well.
Okay.
And school. So that's why I'm struggling because I'm in college and I finished late and I'm working tomorrow as well and I finished late, but I'll try and
just try. If not, I'm going to record it. Then whatever you see from the video, you try to run the test. And if you have any question later, you're my person. Reach out to me. We work on it. Okay. All right. Who else is there? Mrs. Quaker. You said,
thank you.
Thank you.
The very powerful section.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam Quaker, we have a lot of assistant coaches here. Unmute yourself and talk.
Thank you so much for the
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for being a gift that keeps giving to everyone. So we really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. See, unmute yourself. People are not unmuting. Put camera, they are not putting camera. But when they go to coaches that we tell them, you can only pay me $300 before you come to my class. They value you. Don't worry, you are going to push me to that level.
Please, I just get a video tonight so that we can use the night to go through it.
Okay, I'm not promising because it's on the I need to load it. This is recorded on the computer right now. Okay. And because I am not sure when else I'm going to sit down because that's as I said earlier, we have a lot of things going on as family, and I will try to load it on a private link, then I will share it in the group. Okay, because I don't want to put it public at the moment. So I will load it on YouTube, I will put it private, then I will share it in the WhatsApp group for this program. Okay?
Thank you.
Olajumoke, madam, how are you doing? I don't know that face. I can see somebody with Olajumoke.
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining.
Yes. Good evening.
Right. Where are you joining us from?
It was a powerful session. From Lagos.
All right. Thank you for joining. Were you able to get something home today?
Yes. And at some point, I started thinking back and remembering instances where I yelled. I was like, oh, okay, now, when you hear things like this, your mind, you remember so many things or instances that you actually did those things, and it's like, oh, okay. Yes. So there's actually a different way to go.
There are different ways
about this. And
sorry to cut you short, madam. Yes, I just see that the time is counting down for me, and I don't want it to. Yes, it's counting down for me. This session is going to end. I think the setting I put, I don't know why it's ending me. So I'm going to cut you short. Thank you. I'm glad you are here. Hopefully I'll get to see you tomorrow. I can see a lot of people there. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Please, same time tomorrow, same link on Zoom, and we are going to be going deeper tomorrow, okay? We're going to be finding out what exactly is going on and what we need to do tomorrow. All right, thank you for joining me. If you're just seeing my face for the first time, maybe you were not here when I was doing the introduction. My name is Oyelayo, but you can call me Coach Oye for short. I don't want to start telling you what I am doing because it's going to take time. But as at this moment, I am addressing you as a counselor in psychology, okay? And I'm other things, and that is why I'm able to touch here and there. So for now, I say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you and stay blessed. God bless you. God bless you.
Bye.